Update of activities from ministries, departments and agencies of Abia State Government.
This government has the will to get the job done. His Excellency made a pronouncement that the Lokpanta cattle market would not be an ungoverned space. Bordering the forest and farmlands of Umunnochi, it became a hideout, a transit point for criminals. So the first step in terms of addressing the security issues, there was a time that you couldn't go to Umunnochi. Kidnapping and security issues was a daily affair and all that. So the first thing in terms of bringing sanity was fencing off the markets. This was a project previous government had dilly-dallied about, but this government, with the willpower and focus to serve Abians, His Excellency gave the marching order, and that fencing has been completed. The second aspect is transiting the market into an international market and ensuring that it is a daily market just like every other market in Nigeria. It's not a question of market and residency are all in the same place. Separates a settlement from a market. And we are pretty far gone in terms of the fencing complete, that the development of the market is in process. Before the end of this calendar year, Abians will see and hear more from the Lokpanta axis. All this comes within managing our public buildings and public spaces. Now, we also have the takeoff of the Federal College of Education of Feme. The federal government graciously has brought of Feme. Abia State has given land for it, and this government has made that commitment that the school will take off in September. To support the takeoff of the school, we are rehabilitating a number of the structures so that more Abians will have more opportunity. A number of these public buildings is being driven by civil servants, meaning that it's all about leadership. And this government has provided that decisiveness in leadership, thus unlocking the value and quality in our people. This government is a government that operates on two twin principles: development on one hand and the rule of law on the other hand. It's also a government that has a human face. So from the get-go, when we were talking about the expansion of Osara Road, now called the General JTU Agironsi Boulevard, compensation was paid, due process was followed. The ongoing acquisition we have at the Abia Industrial and Innovation Park in Owaza, the same thing. We've gone through the process of enumeration, we've gone through the process of valuation, and we'll follow through the process of compensation. All development happens on land. And with Dr. Alex Otis and this government haste to develop Abia and all that, there will be a lot of acquisitions and development happening all over the whole place. But the assurance and comfort people have with this government that it is not a government of land grabbers. It is not a government that appropriates public property and converts it to private use. It is a government that holds sacrosanct that acquisition should be done for overriding public purpose. And when it needs to do this, it ensures that fair compensation is paid to those that the lands have been acquired from. Flowing from this is also the government's commitment to recovery of its public properties that have been converted to private use. From the KPMG reports to the newly inaugurated task force on recovering of our public schools that have been exercised in one form or the other. Any inch of Abia's land that has been converted from public use to private use without following due process, the commitment and the will of this government to recover our common patronage is sacrosanct. We have fast-tracked our handshake with the federal. And when we're talking about federal projects, like I mentioned earlier, Abia State is one out of two southeastern states that were shortlisted for the Renewed Hope Housing Project. We also have the federal government secretariat, state secretariats, a piece of land that has been lying fallow for a while, acquisitions not complete. The coming in of this government ensured that we finished up with the acquisition process, ensured that due compensation was paid, and the federal government has moved into the site and has commenced the building of the federal secretariat. In implication, all federal government institutions that are operating in Abia and are coming to Abia need no longer to perch in one place or the other, but they now would have a reasonable space to operate from.